Hello everyone. Today I'm back telling you more about clocks. I've got here with me my digital clock and my analog clock, and they are both showing the same time right now. I wonder if you know how to read this time. So you may not know how to read it on this analog clock, but the digital clock might be a little bit easier for you to read. The time says 3 o'clock. All right, when you see these two zeros in a time, we know that that is a signal for o'clock. All right, on an analog clock, the signal, the hint that it's an o'clock time is this long hand is pointing at the 12. So we read this 3 o'clock as well. Now we can see this fast hand ticking away, and we talked about that fast hand that counts the seconds for us. Now I'm going to start talking to you about the other hands on the clock, and really mostly about this hour hand, which is the short hand. We can see a short hand and a long hand here. The short hand is called the hour hand, and it points to the hour. And the long hand is the minute hand, and it moves around, helping that hour get to the next hour, helping that hour hand get from hour to hour. All right, so remember that all three of these hands move at the same time. This fast hand moves very quickly, and we can actually see it moving. The other two hands move more slowly, and actually the hour hand moves the slowest out of all three hands. So this long hand here is the minute hand. It moves around a little bit faster, but the hour hand moves very, very, very slowly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to speed up the hands. I have a little controller on the back of my clock, so I'm going to speed it up a little bit so you can see how our time changes from 1 hour to the next. So right now it is 3 o'clock on my analog clock. So I'm going to move the hands now a little bit faster to show you what it's going to look like when the time changes from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So 3 o'clock looks like this, the short hand pointing directly at the 3, so we know the hour is 3, and the long hand pointing to the 12, which means o'clock. So the time is 3 o'clock. So in words, it looks like this, 3 o'clock, or in digits, 3 o'clock like this, showing the numbers 3, and then on the minute side, we see 2 zeros, which means o'clock. So 3 o'clock like this. Now watch really carefully. I'm going to help the clock move to 4 o'clock so we can see what that looks like. So now I'm going to speed up the hands. Now this minute hand moves faster than the hour hand, so we can see that long hand moving quickly around the clock. But that short hand is also moving closer and closer to the 4. So our minute hand, our long hand, is now halfway around the clock, and we are halfway to 4 o'clock. So here we go, and we're getting closer to 4 o'clock, closer, waiting for that long hand to get on the 12, and it is now 4 o'clock. So when that long hand gets all the way back to the 12, that's when the new hour begins, 4 o'clock. And I hope you really notice that that short hand is also moving very closely. So watch again, okay? And we can, this time I want you to really focus on that short hand. Okay, it's still close to the 4, close to the 4, close to the 4, which means the hour is still 4. So we're close to the 4, close to the 4. Okay, now we're halfway between 4 and 5, and that makes sense because that long hand is halfway around the clock. Okay, and now we're actually getting closer to the 5, closer to the 5, closer to the 5. All right, and then now 5 o'clock. That long hand is on the 12, signaling an o'clock time. So now it's 5 o'clock, and now I'm going to move the hands a little faster and get us to 6 o'clock when that long hand is on the 12 and the short hand is on the 6. So you're going to be doing some more times looking at o'clock times in the next few days. Okay, so remembering that the time is showing o'clock when that long hand is at the 12, and then you'll know the hour by looking at the short hand, and that will help you be able to tell what hour it is. So it's 7 o'clock now. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So right now you're just looking for the hour, where the hour hand is, and seeing if it's an o'clock time on your clocks. All right? And we'll talk more about how it gets to the o'clock time soon. But right now, you're looking at that short little hour hand to see where it is on the clock, what number is it closest to, what hour is it closest to, and knowing that when that long hand is on the 12, we're using o'clock times to tell the time. Have fun looking for your short hand and finding o'clock times. I'll talk to you next time.